Facts. I actually believe Chelsea's going to finish 15th this year.
Come on.
They're 10th at the moment. I think he won one on his last 11 games. I think he was in charge for about 40-something games. He won only 12 games. I mean, it was absolute disaster.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. This is, of course, the Kings of Football show brought to you by the King of Beers, Budweiser. We're all about the EPL, and that's exactly what we focus on this show. I'm not going to be doing the show by myself, but because I'm on the show, I must introduce myself. I am Folajimi Oluwasegun James Akinshola, but you can simply call me Jimmy.
I think being back on YouTube and Twitter has been, and seeing the response we have, hopefully we get more viewers as well. I know. No. But before we go into that, I did realize that Chelsea, they have a 007 record when they're trailing at halftime. So that's 0 wins, 0 draws, and 7 losses. Well, actually, I do know that Daniel Craig is not coming back anytime soon. So we know that there is no James Bond to save Chelsea at this time. No, but on the more serious, I think what that tells me is that there's something fundamentally wrong with this talented group of players that no manager can be able to get them playing well, especially if they're trailing at halftime.
I'll have you know that as great as your Rashford that you always cry about, someone like Toney of Brentford has scored more goals than he has.
Okay, so I'll just have you know that Rashford has actually scored more goals than Toney. I mean, there are more competitions than the EPL. Rashford has 28 goals.
We are talking about the EPL.
Even if you're talking about
where Budweiser is the official beer.
Even if you are talking about the EPL, Jimmy, sit down. Let me lecture you just a little bit.
I'm sitting already. Obviously, your glasses are tinted.
Rashford plays on the left hand side. He scored 15 goals, non-penalty goals, compared to your Ivan that scores maybe a penalty.
Not my Ivan. It's Brentford's Ivan.
Well, it's your Ivan. You brought him here today,
so
it's your Ivan.
You brought him here today.
Nobody touches Rashford this season in the EPL.
I'm tired already, bro.
Three EPL Player of the Month awards. Nobody comes close.
Him here today.
Nobody comes close.
I'm the headache for today. You said something about Chelsea. Well, look on the bright side. You know M, right?
Yeah.
She stays in Chelsea.
High
end. So that's the only exactly. So maybe 007 can go visit M. That's the only thing.
But right now there's no 007.
So
they're on their own.
Chelsea. I have a hot take on them. Ahis, I want to get your reaction to this hot take.
Oh man, do you know I destroy Chelsea for a living?
So here's the hot take. Chelsea will finish below Crystal Palace. True or false?
Facts. I actually believe Chelsea's going to finish 15th this year.
Come on. They're 10th at the moment.
Bruh, how many games
11.
left?
9
games left. What if they
almost
lose
8 if
what if they lose 4 games out of those 9 games?
Which is
15.
possible.
That's 15.
They haven't scored in 4.
That's 15.
They are struggling badly.
They
if you have Frank Lampard as manager, you're in trouble.
What are you saying? So it's possible. And they're still playing a couple of people that are still big teams. They are still going to play the whole. You understand?
Let me blow your mind. They don't want to play big teams.
They can beat
everybody beats them now.
Chelsea's for the streets.
The funny thing about this Chelsea side is
do you agree?
No, but the thing is, I'm caught in the
they'll
middle.
finish below Crystal Palace is one
Yes,
thing.
no,
they'll finish 15th is another hot take on it.
No, I know. I actually do think that they may finish below Crystal Palace. The single reason is when you look at the name on the Chelsea sheet. If you look at their game during midweek, you look at the names on that Chelsea lineup. You're thinking to yourself, this team can actually go out there and beat Real Madrid. But you just, that's the thought.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that that's a reality anyway. But that's the thoughts you have in your mind. And then you watch them play and you're asking yourself, there's something psychologically wrong with the squad as a whole.
Absolutely.
Because you have so many talented football players, but they can't seem to find the back of the net at all. I think one thing may happen to this Chelsea team. This Chelsea team may, on a good day, beat a team 6 or 7 because they have the players to do that.
But not soon.
It's a head scratcher because you see players like Raheem Sterling.
And remember, Crystal Palace that we're comparing them with have a poor season so far.
Yes.
They're right now.
But they're getting their managers bounce.
Right now,
new managers bounce. I don't think that
really well.
will cross over to this weekend. But that's to be seen. But in saying that as well, Crystal Palace are on 33 points.
Yeah.
Chelsea are on 39 points.
Yeah.
Goals difference -2 for Chelsea, -11 for Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace, up until 2 weeks ago, didn't have a shot on goal.
Yeah.
And this is the difference between them and Chelsea, 6 points.
Yep.
Jordan,
One
are you
position on
scoring?
the table.
they have
So,
Chelsea
Biola, I'm going to
had a
ask you
horrible
again,
season.
while also pivoting to a deeper question in Chelsea. Do you think Crystal Palace will finish above Chelsea? That's one.
Okay.
And then secondly, Frank Lampard, is he the worst manager in the league?
let me take the easy one first.
on.
Well, I'm not sure Chelsea will finish behind Palace, but it might get close. Palace have won their last 2 games, right? They look like complete different sides.
And
They
Chelsea
scored 5,
haven't.
I think it was against Leeds. And the other game as well, they got like a last minute goal. So there's a way teams, get wins and how they score goals that you get the feeling that they are more confident than they were. And they have a lot of really good young attacking players who were not getting a bit of joy under Patrick Vieira. They had, they had lost form and all of that. So it looks like Palace are on the ascendancy. Chelsea, on the other hand, they don't even know their best 11. They can't even score. They haven't
So
scored in the last
speaking
4
of the
games.
person that doesn't know the best 11, now let's take a clinical look at it, right? Chelsea is currently 10th position.
Yeah.
How many managers do you think are actually worse than Frank Lampard right now?
In the league right now?
Just looking at the teams beneath Chelsea.
Honestly?
we have Southampton. Do you think their manager is as bad as, or is Lampard better than the Southampton coach?
I think that Lampard is a monument to nepotistic excellence.
Wow.
He should not even be a manager.
I think you should say that on your single shot. Please say it again, please.
It shouldn't.
I
It
mean, it
shouldn't.
is what it is. He should
shouldn't.
not even be a manager. So what? He took over Derby, got them from 6th to 6th, right? And then he got rewarded with the Chelsea job. He left Chelsea, I think, in 10th. Deservedly got fired. He went to Everton. I mean, this guy is a magician. He went to Everton.
Bottled Everton.
They were in 16th. And he managed to finish in 16th place. And somehow emerged the guy that saved them. Like he was a hero. There are pictures of him being fitted by the whole stadium. Then we started next season. I think he won 1 on his last 11 games. I think he was in charge for about 40-something games. He won only 12 games. I mean, it was absolute disaster. And then what do we get at Chelsea? You fire Potter and you bring in Lampard. Even for 10 minutes, Lampard should be manager at Chelsea.
Jesus.
Talk more of 10 games. Okay. I mean, you look at all of the other managers who might be struggling a little bit. David Moyes. He's an honest man. He's been in this game forever. He's done stuff. You look at Couple at Nottingham, brought them up. They're hanging in there. They're struggling, but you can see him get wins sometimes in big games. So which other manager would you mention? All of the other managers are managers who you can say are struggling right now, but you look at even Dean Smith. He brought.
I was going to say, but
he brought Villa up. And they were decent for a bit before, he ran into trouble and got fired. So it's difficult to look at every manager in the league. I imagine that Lampard is better than any of them. Like I said, the best job Lampard should have, maybe ambassador at Chelsea. If he gets really broke, maybe he can work at the ticket office.
Okay, so I like the way you're on a roll at the moment.
Managers.
So let me help you slow your roll. Yeah, you've segued very nicely. You're such a great pundit, I must say. You've segued so nicely to Aston Villa. I have a hot take that might not sit well with you. And if we continue this conversation, I might have to change seats because you might take offense.
Let's have it.
Aston Villa,
Let's have it.
they are in a very great run of form, right?
Are they?
Clearly.
They are
apart
potentially,
from Arsenal, I think.
they're pushing even top 4 if care is not
No,
taken.
they're not going to get it.
No, I'm saying
I
if
think
they
they're in top
continue,
6 now.
yes, they are. They are in top 6.
6.
And they're potentially going to get higher. Unai Emery,
Yeah.
good evening. He's a better coach than Ten Hag.
What?
Based on
Erik
current,
Ten Hag?
yeah.
You know what? I think
Speak
I've spoken
last.
enough
Speak-
on this show.
speak last.
I've spoken enough on this show.
Speak last.
Also,
No, it's an open. You see, I set it up right by telling you exactly
look.
the form they're in,
Let's get serious.
and then the fact that he came in at a point in time where Aston Villa was not doing that well, and he has actually re-engineered. And we're talking about
No, it's not a phenomenal job. They were in,
we're talking about Lampard. Let's talk about Steven Gerrard and the terrible job he did at Aston
No,
Villa.
Lampard was even Gerrard was horrible, but no, Lampard should not be a manager.
No. So let's leave Lampard.
Yeah.
He's already in the ground. Let's not. We
At least Gerrard
can't.
dresses
You
like
can't
a
bury
lacquer.
a buried person. He's
Yeah.
dead. So I'm saying, Unai Emery's performance with Aston Villa, in my own understanding of how the Premier League is played out,
Yeah.
his achievements is more credible than Ten Hag?
Well, I mean, if you want to go down that route, then that means his achievement is more credible than even Pep Guardiola's and Jurgen Klopp and Conte's. And all of that.
I wouldn't put Ten Hag in the same conversation as those people.
EPL, you can't do that.
You can't put Ten Hag. You can't put Ten Hag in the same conversation as Pep Guardiola.
But you're putting in the
It's
same
the same way you can't
conversation
put
with a guy
you
who
can't
has
put
already
Arteta
delivered
in the
the
same
trophy,
conversation as Pep Guardiola.
who is in the latter rounds of the FA Cup semi-finals, who is in the quarterfinals, who has sat in the top four literally all season.
No, Biola.
Now,
Considering where Unai Emery came in,
I don't have to look.
at what time did he come in this season?
Who that?
For
Emery.
For Aston Villa,
No,
yes.
he took over a difficult job, just as Ten Hag took over Manchester United. Between Ole and Ragnick, they had made a horrible mess of
Yeah,
things.
but Manchester United is a big club.
Ten Hag has come. I get you. Unai Emery has done a phenomenal job. But if we are going to say, because only Arsenal have got more points than him since he came, then you can extend that to Liverpool, to Conte, to Pep Guardiola.
Of course.
But if you're looking at concrete achievements this season, ETH has already delivered a trophy.
Facts.
He's in the FA Cup semi-finals. He's in the quarterfinals, of the
Villa were already out of all these competitions before Unai Emery came now.
Well, ETH is in it and he's doing well now. We're going to now cancel him because
He's
Emery is not in
had
competition.
more time at the job as
but
well.
I think
Okay, let me rephrase.
Exactly.
But let me rephrase.
Emery
Okay.
has done well,
Yeah,
but you can't take pot shots at a manager who has won a
Because
trophy.
of
I don't want to
and
lose.
and is on track to win maybe.
I've already
or
lost
two
one of
more
my
trophies.
brothers.
It's
I don't want
Because
to.
of where Man U was when he came in,
Yeah.
and where they are right. Come on now.
On that note, you have, in fact, I don't like it, but let's just leave it there. I will be opening up our Twitter space for audience to give us their comments and, of course, their thoughts. But that's much later on the show. Right about now, it's time for us to take a look at the upcoming weekend games. Unai Emery's Aston Villa will be kicking things off against Newcastle.
Yep.
Brighton will be taking on Chelsea. Also, we're going to be seeing the game between Everton and Fulham. Southampton will be taking on Crystal Palace. Tottenham Hotspur, the team that every Arsenal fan doesn't like mentioning, will be taking on Bournemouth. Wolves, after that beautiful stunner against Chelsea, they'll be taking on Ivan Toney's Brentford. And of course, Manchester City taking on Leicester City. Also, we can look forward to matches that would involve West Ham taking on Arsenal. One of the greatest teams in English football, Nottingham Forest, will be taking on title pretenders and top four hopefuls, Manchester United. And then on Monday, Leeds United will be doing battle with Liverpool. Let's get to our Twitter space right now. If you're on Twitter right now, please, if you want to contribute to the conversation we're having right here on the Kings of Football show, please wave your hand and let me let you into the space so you can speak. I have a number of people in here. Rotimi, if you're ready to go, let it go. Let me have you. Talk to me.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? My name is Rotimi, and I'm a gooner. So
I like that.
He seems to be calling with you guys, man.
Yeah, stand.
So to all those who say we're not going to win the league, book your tickets, tear your draft, because I'm already booking my ticket for the Paris. I have already booked my space.
Let me remind you, tickets at the Emirates for that final game are going at £10,000.
He said carnival. He's going to be at the.
I'm not going to the final game. Jimmy, I am going to the parade of the trophy.
Yeah. Wow, ooh, it's free. Yeah.
London, man. You get that?
So I got a question for you. So the question is this: how do you see the match between Aston Villa and Newcastle playing out?
I watched a live Newcastle game in 2021.
Okay, that's 2 years ago.
I must say that team has come in leaps and bounds, and they're only going to get better.
Okay,
so I'm going to give it to Newcastle. I think Newcastle is going to pip this. It's going to make our game against them worse.
Okay,
exactly.
But I think Newcastle has this, and they will win.
All right.
Slim, but they will win.
All right. Thank you so much for your opinion. I will be hoping that you stay on and we'll get more from you, as you are a very serious Arsenal fan.
Guna.
A Guna,
You
for real.
understand, Amara?
All right. Thank you so much. Anyone else on our Twitter space want to share thoughts? Preferably not an Arsenal fan.
I was going to say.
Nigerian Scouser, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan.
Thank God.
The first thing I'm going to say is
our condolences,
the last
brother.
person that said it is well. It's a very tough time for us. The last person that said book your tickets. Well, that was my coach. We all know how that ended. I'm not saying anything against the Arsenal fans.
Refund.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that didn't age well.
I'm hearing the Arsenal tickets are expensive. The Arsenal tickets are expensive, so you can book them.
For next season. Next season's tickets are still cheap. But yeah, talk to me about what's happening at Liverpool, though. Your team seems to be struggling, unlike Newcastle and Aston Villa. Quickly touch on what's going on at Liverpool, and then give me your thoughts on Aston Villa Newcastle's game.
Okay, so for the Liverpool situation, it's everybody mentions the whole 7th season syndrome for Klopp. I'm not one to believe in those kind of things because I have an issue that owners. Yeah, but it's not just down to him. Like, the investment has been in the wrong areas. Our midfield has been a point of weakness for a while now. They've been seeing it. They've not done anything about it.
Yeah, but who's in charge of buying? Is it not Klopp, or is there someone else that is dictating who comes to the club or who goes? Because he bought Thiago, right?
He bought Keita.
Exactly. You bought all these midfielders that are not performing. Exactly.
So he's actually tried to replace these guys.
But he's bought wrong. Yeah. He's bought wrong. And he's unfortunately misappropriated his priorities. Yeah. Because he should know what is more important to him. But yeah, go ahead. You have the floor.
I don't want to. He has done a lot for us, and I think it's only that gratitude that is stopping me from saying.
Okay, I leave Liverpool. Talk to me about Aston Villa, Newcastle.
I'm tired. So yeah, Aston Villa, Newcastle. Newcastle is the better team. Throughout the duration of the season, they've been improving. They had a drop in form. They got back better.
So you don't believe in form?
Villa right now, Villa right now is on a good run of form as well, but they've been playing against lower ranked teams. I think Newcastle is going to be more of a challenge to them than the teams they've been playing so far. So I'm seeing a narrow Newcastle win, maybe 2-1. Yeah.
All right, 2-1. Thank you so much. Please keep yourself on the line. Biola, go ahead.
You know the funny thing? He says Villa have been playing well against lower ranked teams. And they beat Chelsea 2-0 the other day.
Wow. So in your mind, Chelsea is a lower ranked team. Wow.
Exactly.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Anyways, we appreciate you all for tuning in. It's been the Kings of Football show brought to you by Budweiser. I am Jimmy. He's Ozo. BK is in the house. Thank you all for having
to BK.
Oh, well.
Yeah, BK is the host. Brooklyn Stand Up. And of course, Dada Boy, he's my boy.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being a part of the show. Remember, our Predict and Win is on. Make your predictions. Use the hashtag Budweiser Kings of Football show. And of course, you stand a chance to win $20K for 5 individuals. That's $100K, baby girl. You already know how we roll. I am Jimmy saying thank you very much for listening. Peace, love, and respect.